Hello and welcome. It is the 20th of October 2017. I concluded my last video where the all-time highs of Bitcoin are currently set, barely over 6,000. Maybe I'll start this one making new all-time highs. Welcome. My name is Derek. Everything you do is within your own risk and your own reward. I did a video just basically live stream going through just play by play this run up to the top at 6,000, and then I stopped the video, and now since this point it has done this sideways consolidation, almost like the inverted head and shoulders pattern, or that failed breakdown move that's entered the band. And well, on the 1 minute time frame, this 6,000 level is now extreme, but I'm not planning on doing the same type of video I did before. I want to go over this more on the technical analysis level. So therefore, obviously on this pattern here, it did have us just move right down right now, which really doesn't mean much, but on the break, when you see price action on like 6,006, 6,005, you could expect this thing to be going to 60.50 to 60.100 relatively soon. But this is all there was for the sell-off. Again, I want to go over multiple time frames, weekly chart. I wish they had monthly, because I could just scroll this all the way, and the pattern long term pretty much since its early days. And you can't see the dates. This is 2012, this starts 2013, this starts 14, this starts 2015, starting 2016, and starting this year. So the lines indicate the years. All right, so this was an interesting pattern just at the start in here. And the break, look at the size of this move, going from like $14 up to about $250. See, that's what the alternate coins do. This doesn't do what the altcoins do anymore, which is why when you take the risk reward betting on trades, you're actually getting the early stages of Bitcoin volatility, because that's how they move. And any type of movements like this at this stage of the game of the financial system would pretty much be a blow to the world financial currencies. If a move of that type of structure were to occur, where over, like, say, what was this, a span of 2.5 months, where consistently each week it just goes up to that type of span, I mean, now we'd be talking about those people with six-figure Bitcoin prices being right. So I don't expect that to happen unless that kind of event were to take place. But technical analysis speaking, after this move, correctionary phase in here, another good move compared to the one previous before. And then the Mt. Gox incident occurred, which started what turned out to be the bear market run, the 18 average, as we can see, the failed attempt in here. And this was the successful attempt in here to get out by it. So with the using the 18 average, and now I can just lose the older periods, because now it's easier to read this. But when you use this, here's the attempt to revert the trend, and then it goes down. Now it does break below the 18 average. It did break down below this low, but it did recapture the low quickly, resisted this band. So yeah, this looked very bearish, and some people would be like, oh, I gotta get out, now I gotta get it, now it's gonna roll over. And you know what, if you look at the chart from this perspective, it is extremely okay. Well, long term, it's still holding this support, and let's just do the weekly chart the rest of the way, pushing through. But there you have it. You have an established resistance move back to the band, correctionary move within the band, continued such, but you're doing it within an upward trend now. You had a few moments supporting it, now a few minutes resisting the top part, many moments doing it. That's a nice little bullish pattern if you see that little period like that, and look at how you get the follow through. And there you go, you break resistance. And now there's definite reasons to be being bullish at this stage. So just making this decision now, you're up almost 9 times, or over 9 times, almost 10 times. There's the comeback to where it came from. So now you're within the correctionary band. You see how you're leaving it. And micro volatility. So there's a lot of, but now you get some bigger green candle moves. This is now getting us to the end of last year. This is when I was actually starting to become a regular coverage, covering it more regularly. Volatility remains. Move to the 18 average, and we can see it, as you see it, leaving it. And there's that move. Now, I mentioned before, having like a 15x kind of move would be the end, but having like a move from like 9,000 to 3,000, the 3x, 4x, 5x moves are not able to play right now. There's still huge volatility. And as we continue on through, this thing is playing out in this tremendous bullish formation. Now, I'm going to have to use a drawing tool now, and I got one way around that. And that is to bring up the paint program. We'll get an image of this. And then I know it looks weird to you, but I'll copy this in my browser. And then I'll paste it in here. And of course, it's not structured for normal viewing. Of course, I'm doing this for live viewing, which is why it's not filled out to the max. And it's a little big. I can fix that. So there we have it. And I mean, however you draw it, this pretty much, the resistance line came back to support. Therefore, we're now supporting a trend line of this rate of ascent. As far as resistance is concerned, you can see it's tough to draw it in here, really, when you consider the best current resistance level, because I guess the only thing we can do is connect these key points. Ooh, push the wrong button. So it is approaching that trend line, but approaching it would mean roughly at around, depending on if it does it this week or next week, it's Friday, so the week should end, I think. So we're talking about this period here. So yeah, this is basically going to match up within the 68 or so handle. And if Cliff happens to be correct with what he's been stating, as I look at the chart in place now, I'm going to actually do an interesting WebBot video based on how I've perceived it from day one. That won't come out probably for anywhere between 1 to 20 days or so, probably when I feel up to the mood of doing it. It's all good information, but the information in here is that it's going to come up somewhere close to this area in here, 68-ish. So just another regular leg higher, another 7 or 12, 13% rather. Most likely what I think is going to happen is we're going to have one more play of what's been going on this whole time. Really since both in here and since this has all begun. And that is the bull market has a leg higher, comes back down to the 18 average of lows, rinse, repeat. So therefore, this leg higher at 68 would then most likely come back probably towards the 46 to 5,000 level, which would then match up with the 18 average of lows. And of course, if the 18 average lows happens to be in at, say, only 43, then maybe it goes down to 43 even. And then from that point on, and this has been talked about since this break in here, and maybe even back here, but definitely on this break of like 1,600 of 13,000 in late winter. Okay. At that point, we were talking about 7, 8x gain. Okay. Wow. Less than a year. Okay. Now we're talking about a little better than double in Well, November, December, January, February, basically 4 months, and even the benefit of the doubt, I'll do +1 to 5, so less than a half a year. That's not outrageous to think right now. Oh, it's going to gain a double from this point. So yeah, maybe price action comes somewhere close to 7, falls back down to close to 5, and maybe a pierce below. That would translate 2 divided by 7. That should be 28%, I think. 28, 30% retracement. And then a move up to around maybe 13. When we look at the most recent plays from, well, break of low. 900, basically 3x from low to high. From low to high in here, we're looking at 1838 to about 5,000. So 2.5 times. If we go from 3,000 to about 7, and we could even go higher than that, but let's just assume that it's 7, then you're talking about 133% gain or so. Then, if it, say, were to go to, say, 5,000, that would be close to a 3x gain. And the pattern to me as I'm saying this is 3x gains on this new trend. A little under, of course, like 250, 280. We'll see if 68 is correct. And 68 makes sense based on this break of resistance just by using my eye test of a leg higher. But 3x is closer to 9,000 on 3,000. And 2.5x would be closer to exploding the 7s, playing closer to 8,000. Again, we'll see how it plays out to that level, but the technicals to how this could play out does indeed, to me, make a lot of sense. Daily time frame. Bitcoin's down to 59.17 now. We're at lows not seen in a long, long time. Bitcoin's breaking down on the short-term time frame. Not so much here on the daily. That's fine. Short-term support we can see is 58.48, 58.50, basically the resistance that we just faced. It really hasn't broken this level by much. It has told you. It has just made the statement, according to how I look at charts, in the last hour and such, that, hey, the statement, I'm breaking, I'm ready to go, I want to get another leg higher. Well, 6,000 isn't good enough breaking to 58. I mean, we need to see something up towards here to pass the test. So that's what the statement is. So it's okay to correct. And even maybe even break this support of 58 could still work out fine. Even go into 57. But before I stated, as long as it held 54, it's good to go. Well, that number is certainly higher now. And I'm going to figure out right now what that number is. And I can't do it too well on the daily time frame, but I would suspect that I want it to hold in the 56, 57 area. If it's going to have any kind of retracement. It's already looking kind of juicy now that it's down only 1 3/4% or so from its high, that you could at least short term get to play on it. We'll see in time. And not much time, because we're going to the next time frame, which is a 4-hour. If you're really looking to get your deal from the 6,000, my buy order would be in around 58. But right around that number, 58.0496. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. But I'd want to do a hair over 58. If I were to put a buy order, I'm not doing such because this is something I'm holding. It's my base trading currency, and I'm in no mood right now to sell it to the US dollar tether. Or if they had gold or silver, I would be in no mood to sell it for that right now either, because it's practically in volatility the exact same. Therefore, what do? If you're trading, that's where I would look. But it's not much of a pullback on this time frame. In fact, it's already up to 59.59. Man, this 1 minute chart's going to look sweet when we get to it. 2 hour time frame. You can see the pattern a little more clearly. And then the failed move, fast move. So failed move, fast move to the upside. So it's already had an okay, satisfactory fast move already. Because I would expect a lot of times to be better than that. But this thing is just playing form. Again, this little resistance area, which is between 57.31. There's the key number, but maybe even it's little down to the 57 handle. It can pierce it below on any retracements, but it really needs that level to hold and stay above. I'd be a little leery on that. I'd really want to see it hold and stay above 57.40-ish or so, right around 57.30. But I'm just getting technical on exact numbers here. But this entire range, if it needs serious retracement, is where it's going to go, both really short-term and intermediate term, and most likely even long-term as time goes on. Single hour time frame. So within this major green candle up, which retraces back down, it extends the gains and has only had a small retracement. So the breakout's looking fine. Let's move to the 30-minute. Then go 5 minute, 1 minute. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 big candle up. Sideways consolidation with price correction following. It retested that 6,000 handle as well, but it obviously didn't break it. And in the first short term, I mean, it's 28 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 30-minute time frame. So it's 12:01 p.m. on my time frame. So once I've done this, I'm making lunch. But it's slowly going down. Building a sideways correctionary base is something that has to be done oftentimes when this thing is ready to lose steam. Early indication says 59, but it could be 58. And the resistance could be higher than 6,000 if it's ready to go sideways, sort of like this move goes higher. Oh, we might have to go sideways. Early indications is the range is 5,600 to 5,500. Oh, but then it goes higher. Early indications in here. So early indications back here is that the range is going to be 57.30 to 56. Well, sure enough, that was the range. So you really, if we're looking for sideways consolidation, there's not enough data to say, yep, that's what the new range is going to be. If we are even going to have a range, this thing could still go higher and there could be a decent price correction down. That even brings it down to the 58s or low 58s into the 57s, whatever. And still not be bearish. 5 minute time frame. That's a beautiful rise higher. The volume in here starts okay. And you can't see the volume too well. Let me see if I can fix that. I can. It's easy. Easy. Should have done that a long time ago, I guess. But it's not like I've been doing this style that often. I just started it like last hour or so ago. Okay, interesting volume here. You see this? It's nothing of note. A decent volume here. How does it follow through? Well, there's your indication. Back up to this point, and it keeps going. Now you're at the big points, extreme volume, and of course, it's made that statement. So volume has remained active. When you're using the 18 average to determine support, you're almost forced to go 15-minute time frame when you see this. If it just keeps on going straight up, a decent correction is a large pierce below the 18 when a situation like this occurs. So I'm going to go to the 1 minute soon, but 15-minute time frame, you're looking at 18 average of highs at like 58 high, and it's rising, so you're even talking like 59 by the time it might get there. But it's definitely been stated that 6,000 is extreme resistance on the 5-minute and definitely on the 1-minute time frame as well. As far as support's concerned, we can see 5,900 was a little area here. It's been played down towards here. So the early indications, 5,900, 6,000 as the range. Let's go to the 1-minute time frame and end this because I'm hungry. So there is the sideways consolidation. I mean, this is now a full established range on this time frame. So if it breaks down below here at 59, you're basically looking to go play well into the 58s. And of course, breaking resistance, you got a decent gain ahead of you. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day.